Hi. Hi. How are you? Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy noon 30. There's conveniently a Dow Chan recollection box right in front of my clock, so I'm going to pretend that it is noon exactly. Thanks for being here.
Hey. Hi. Oh, I can't hear myself.
Nice.
Hello. Hi, people of this world. I think this is the latest we've ever been.
Fucking relax. Hi.
Lineage Break.
I had to pack a bag to go to fucking regionals tomorrow. I sound so thrilled about it, I know. So I'm late. I had to pack a bag.
Dude, Marlins is just ripping
And I
us up.
did that.
It's funny.
I did that, whatever. You guys got to get a life. No, I'm sorry, I'm late. We're here, and there's so much to talk about. So I'm sorry that you guys lost 30 minutes of us yapping because there's so much news. Anyways,
Cricket.
I'll save that for the podcast. Anyways, we're going to
Final Turn Gaming
going
tomorrow.
to New Jersey tomorrow, but I have to work all night, so I had to make sure I was packed before the show, and I did not allocate enough time, especially since I spent, I don't know, 10 minutes looking for my fucking Sylvie hat, because I don't know what I did with it. I was wearing it literally last night. No, it's not that one. That one's dirty. It needs to be washed. I was literally wearing it last night. I couldn't find it for the life of me, so my hair is out, and that's just tough, you know? I guess I'm not that old, though. Not losing our hair yet.
It's the one thing
yeah.
I'm grateful for every
Hi.
day. Is my nice luxurious hair.
It's true. It's a blessing. It's a blessing for sure. As soon as I start losing my hair, chat, I will kill myself. You,
Look at this guy.
That's on God.
He just talks about it all the time and never does so, coward.
Yeah, well, you know. One of these days, I was talking to one Vernosius yesterday. He just turned 30. Everybody, if you're in Merlin's Marketplace, which I'm sure all of you are, do me a big favor and go to Merlin's and in general or whatever, at Vern, say congratulations on turning 30. So I'm sure he's very, very excited. But I'm not far from it. As of today, 30 whole days from now, I turn 30, and then it's all over. So it's tough. It's a tough life out here. But I hope you're all doing well. We'll have a show for you today. Lineage Break did get canceled. Yeah, I didn't even fix that. What Steve did, maybe Elise did. Somebody fixed it, but
Wait, what?
it's pretty good. Oh, so it wasn't you. It must have been Elise.
Did I type it wrong?
Yeah. Glass sent me a message just like last week. It was like, I love the rebrand. It was a picture of the show from last week. It said Lineage Break.
Instead of Cam? The K.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's pretty good. But yeah, that's the word on the street. I am going to Jersey. Yeah, I know. I guess I'm going to Jersey. I feel fine, so that's cool. Lineage Braille. We're very accommodating here, and we do the show in Braille. It's like those translators that they do at like concerts and stuff that do ASL for deaf people. We just do it in Braille, you know, for blind people.
Yeah, Elise must have done it because I didn't even notice.
Accessible show, Pog. Hope you're all doing well. Hi, Perfy. Hi, Rex.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, we got our one regional that I play in tomorrow, so I'll be there. If you guys are there, you can find me at the 0-3 table, just hanging out.
He says it every time, but he always does fine at these events.
I listen, man. I want the feast or famine, you know. Like, I would rather go undefeated or 0-3. I never want to go like 3-3. It's just like, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad.
I can tell you going 0-3 at every event is worse.
I don't know, man.
I went 0-3 at our regionals.
At least At least we're not traveling for that one.
Yeah, well, I'll be going 03 tomorrow,
Woo
too.
woo.
Woo-hoo.
We can go to New York, go to like Kinokuniya, you know.
Dude,
Have a good time.
I would love to go back to Kinokuni.
No, we have to go to the real one, bro. We don't, none of this nonsense Jersey location. We got to go to the one in the city.
But does the one in the city have gachapon?
Yeah, it's way bigger.
Because that whole Japanese market
It's
was
two
across the street.
floors. It's
They
great.
might have air gear, you're saying?
It's huge. But we couldn't go last year because we had to wait around for stupid Tex getting his regional invite or whatever, right?
What's Tex with us?
That's why we were waiting, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
Tex was in top 8. We had to wait for him to get prized. Isn't that literally what happened?
I don't remember. Because
Well, thanks, Perfy. I appreciate you.
Hmm.
You're gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong?
I don't
Came down on a
remember
bubble,
Tex
dog.
going to Kinokuni with us.
I don't know, man. He remembers it.
I know Yorko was there because he was gushing about pens or something.
Why were we waiting around? There was some reason. Because you're right, he wasn't in our car, right?
And I don't remember like.
I don't know.
someone else
It
there.
doesn't matter. I don't know what we're doing. Anyways, welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well. Couple of things to talk about today. Of course, we have SEA Nationals happened while we were gone. Akihabara tickets went on sale. We'll talk about that. We can talk about our lack of art spoilers for
MRC Alter.
MRC Alter. Thanks, Silidar. Revelfest. There's actually kind of a lot that came out. All right. We have some things to talk about. There's some things, some stuff we can chat about, and that's good. Thank you for joining us for chatting time.
Yeah. In other news,
mm,
we got our Kong Ming boxes.
also true.
They're beautiful.
Mr. Steven here.
Got a signed mat.
Open a nice foil signed playmat. It's
Looks
pretty
real,
pog.
looks real nice.
Producer San, Trevor, owner of proxiescodex.com, opened a CPR.
Also looks very nice.
Pog. Pog. Hello, Travis. A bunch of amazing people won Revelfest promos. Oh, don't worry. We'll talk about it. I know that there's some allegations, so I do have to address those allegations.
Allegations.
Thanks. Yeah, the wall scroll looks super nice. It all looked great. I didn't end up getting one, and then when I saw the boxes in person, I regretted that decision, but they do look really nice. I'm glad that we have Kong Ming as part of our crew.
We can figure out how to hang the wall scroll in here.
Yeah, maybe. We just need to get a bigger space, you know?
Yeah. I wish we had money.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
true.
buy a house and make a space.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
You just win the lottery, Cam.
That's true. I'm working on it.
Win the lottery and then we can.
No, I don't need one. I got too much shit. I appreciate it, though. My life is full of poop.
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of de-pooping my life.
Yeah. You got to de-poop, for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to be full of poop, you know?
There's just I have so much stuff in my house that
Me too.
like I just never use.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's the point of having it?
It's true. Got to slim down.
Any Kamen Rider fans in chat? Anyone looking to buy Kamen Rider stuff?
Stuff. All right, Steve, ready to do a podcast about podcasting?
Yeah, I podcast occasionally. On occasion, I've been known to podcast.
Do SEA last, I guess.
I don't have any decade stuff. Sorry. I'm trying to move a wizard belt and a Gaim belt.
I'm gonna show you my wizard's belt. I don't know what that means, but I think it's sexual. Podcasts on podcasts. Trevor, how's your website work? Yeah.
Why do I have an invoice from this?
Then you send me that link, Trevor.
What the fuck?
For my viewing pleasure. And then we'll start the show. Oh. All right, I need my Monster Energy TM to energize me for the show. Thank you for sponsoring the show, Monster Energy TM.
All I'm saying, government takes too much money when you own a car.
True.
Excise taxes and
Just don't.
there's just once you own a car, you shouldn't have to pay constantly for the car you already own. Stupid.
Thank you, boss man. All right. You ready, Stevie?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am Cam. I run show. With me running show is Steven. Hello, Trusty Steve.
Hi, I Trusty Steve. I also run show sometime.
Hello, show run. We do.
We do.
Welcome, show. It's good to be here.
Happy Friday.
We have a show for you today. We're going to talk about some stuff. Not a tremendous amount of news, but a couple of things to go over. We have some Southeast Asian nationals that have concluded, so we want to talk a little bit about the top 8 and how that shook out. We have Revelfest promos have been sent out to humans in the world.
Yeah.
Akihabara tickets have been sent out to some amount of humans in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff
We
going on.
got a show to talk about. But first, I want to, maybe a random person on the internet that probably doesn't watch our show. But I've been selling some cards this week, right? And if nothing else, I have to use my life for content. So I'm selling some cards, made a very bad decision at Massachusetts Regionals, which was also last week. Congratulations to all of our top 8 players, 2 of which under the Lineage Break crew, Richie and Matt. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But at Regionals, our dear friend Abraham just happened to have a playset of Zhangjiao CSRs, which anybody that follows my posts on the internet, which you shouldn't, but if you did, I was looking for those and ended up not buying them. And so this man walked into my life with a playset of CSR Zhangjiaos, and I made some unfortunate decisions, not with my own money, but with the money of our sugar daddy, Sean. And so Sean spent very many dollars on these CSRs for me, which means I have to do some work to come up with that money. So I'm selling some cards. That's the short story, right?
Mm.
So anyways, I'm selling some cards. And it's been a whirlwind this weekend. First of all, I was selling some dungeon guides, and somebody asked me if the dungeon guides were available, but since I was selling both A and B dungeon guides and DOA dungeon guides, they sent me a message looking for dungeon guide (girl), which I really was not a big fan of, because the A and B dungeon guide is a girl. So I didn't know exactly which ones he was talking about. And then this morning, somebody asked for my Vermilion Decrees, which is awesome because those cards are $1 billion. And when I checked to see who the message request was from, it was from username Suck My Ass. So shout out to you, username Suck My Ass is looking to pick up some cards from me. So that's sort of what my sort of what my week has been looking like. Shout out to you if you end up watching the show.
The Only Cam is coming soon.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, that's
The content it's kind of weird to do, but
yeah,
we're working on it.
So anyways, that's how my life has been going outside of the game itself. But inside of the game itself, we had Massachusetts Regionals last week, as we mentioned. We have New Jersey Regionals this week at Final Turn Gaming in Clifton,
Good
New
old
Jersey.
Clifton, New Jersey.
So if you will be there, we will be there. We'll see you there. Make sure to save all of your $5 Dao-Chan Sapphire foils for me. Because God knows I want them and no one else does.
All you have to do is what I've been doing.
Mm.
You give Cam foils.
Mm.
In return,
Mm.
you get the IOU for foils for a later set.
It's a little bit harder for people that don't see me every day, but you could. I'll take things for free. That's fine with me. It's sort of nice, It's very similar to ALC, where all of those Ari foils were literally worthless, and so people were giving them to me for, criminally low prices. I don't know that there's hope for a Dao-Chan, but I'm happy to buy my $5 foils. Got to pick up some Blossoming Denials. That's the one that's on the top of my list. Speaking of foil cards, the Revel Fest promos have finally been sent out. Congratulations to everyone that got a Revel Fest promo. I want it to be very clear. I did not get a Revel Fest promo. I'm not being shipped one. And I want that to be very clear. Thank you. However, if you have one, you're looking to get rid of it for cheap, let me know. But that card sucks. It's kind of a strange choice, I was on the Copium when they announced it. I was like, well, surely this will be good. New clerics coming out. There's some Empower synergies.
It's not good.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
It's a strange choice. I was talking about this. I think it was with producer Son Trevor yesterday, where they've chosen a very eclectic collection of prize cards. Where I thought we were in we figured it out. We're only printing very playable cards as promo cards when we got Light Weavers and Academy Guide and Backup Charger, and then this season it's Mandate of Honor, which sucks. Enrage is at least a playable card in an archetype, so that's cool. Then we're getting Shard of Empowerment. It's very odd. I do want one, but I'm probably never gonna play it. If I'm not gonna play it, there's something
right.
Something's gone wrong. I guess it pairs quite well with my Blossoming Denials to get that level 5. So yeah, congratulations everybody that got a Revel Fest promo. Steve, you haven't gotten your shipping yet, right? I don't think anybody's got shipping information.
No. I can also confirm that I didn't get an email either.
True. I actually don't think anybody that we know in our local area got one. Just reasonable. It's gonna get harder and harder, right? It's 300 out of 12,000 players or something.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's gonna get harder, but maybe next time. They keep putting cuties on them, so I want all those Revel Fest promos. Maybe the next one will have
don't
CL on it.
Don't please.
Listen, man, you gotta.
I'm already trying to find stuff in my life where I can sell so I can afford to buy the Lineage.
I get you.
I can't buy Revel Fest promo with my boy on it.
Take that card. Take that car, sell it. There you go. Easy peasy.
Revel Fest and Judge is separate this time.
Ranked rewards starting going out. Revel Fest and Judge is separate. For the news, head of organized play, Chica Blue, in chat, says that allegedly rank rewards are going out and Revel Fest and Judge ones are separate. Does that mean that Revel Fest and Judge ones will be later? Is that the inclination that I have from that? Which is fine. But
when do you get a whole playset of the Judge promos?
It depends.
On what level you are?
It scales with level, yeah. I believe it's I think it's 6, 9, 12, 15 or something.
Oh, so you're
I get a playset, but not everybody does. So no rigs. See, so this is what I had to express is that at least the people that know me are very convinced that that Terrafring was rigged for me to win it, and so regardless of if that was true, they tell me it's not true. I don't know if I can trust Theo as far as I can throw him, but
I don't know.
This one was not rigged. I did not get a promo. Okay, I just want that to be clear. I did not get a promo. So in other news, before we get to the big Southeast Asian Nationals, Pinax won a shard promo. That's so good. That is actually so great. All right, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Ascent, Akihabara. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
First Ascent in Japan.
Yeah.
Has its own exclusive promo in the Retold Fortune Top 100 promo and entry promo.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It's great. And I had talked about Ascent Akihabara with some people. And nobody except for me, I guess, was convinced that it was going to be like a really big deal. It's like, it'll probably be populated, but it's really hard for the U.S. to travel to, right? It's expensive for sure. And it's like easier for SEA, but that doesn't, like, Singapore wasn't huge last time, right?
Right.
So Ascent Akihabara tickets went on sale. And for the first time, I think literally ever, in the first, 5 minutes, not only did, VIP sold out in 0.3 seconds or whatever, always happens. Champion sold out in the first 5 minutes. Crazy. Regular tickets sold out. You literally cannot buy an Akihabara ticket. They are sold out.
To the point where
it's fucking crazy.
Where Silidar had to put a tweet out saying that they were trying to buy or expand to another floor so they could sell more tickets.
Yeah, it's crazy. I assumed, my assumption when the tickets went on sale and sold out, I was like, oh, they must have, it's in Japan. Akihabara specifically is a really busy place, very crowded, right? So I'm like, oh, they probably, booked a smaller venue, right? And it's probably, 200 people or
400.
It's a 400-person event. So 400 tickets are sold out, which would dwarf any Ascent thus far. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we assume that 400 people bought tickets. Definitely not all 400 of those people are going to be able to make it. That's just the way the ticket sales go. But the fact that, currently we are, by, 20-30% outpacing our biggest event thus far, which was Santa Clara at 313.
Yeah.
As you said, Silidar and the Weebs team is looking to hopefully get a second floor of that venue, which would add another 300-odd tickets or whatever. It's crazy. It's going to be, the biggest event of all time.
Right.
So congrats to anybody that got tickets. It's insane how fast it went. I didn't even think it would be an issue to pick up a regular ticket because it usually isn't.
Right.
But
usually you have time, right? Because the champion usually sells out within a day or two.
Right. But regular tickets are usually always on sale.
Right.
Yeah.
But no,
it's crazy.
It was 10 minutes, no tickets available. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
Yeah. So congrats to anybody who got in there, who got a champion ticket, or God forbid a VIP ticket for Akihabara. It's going to be super cool. Unclear how many of the Lineage Break crew are making it out thus far. It's pretty far from now. I've worlds in sight and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I know that some of our gentlemen in the chat have picked up their tickets, which is awesome. So hopefully you'll maybe not see Steve and I there, but see some of the LB boys, if not us.
Fingers crossed that CL is on the deck box.
True.
Because I have a horse in that race.
Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable. We got a gin box, right? When's Akihabara is in November, and set 8
July.
Is in December, so it'll still be DTR season for Akihabara. So very possible. We'll probably see that pretty soon. So yeah, those tickets went on sale. That's very exciting. Speaking of DTR, Steven, it's coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
But before DTR, we have Mercurial Heart Altar.
Oh, I haven't heard any news on that.
That's crazy, huh?
That's weird.
They I think we talked about it on the show, but they snuck out the product sheet. Yeah. They didn't even make an announcement about it. It's just on the website. If you go to products, you go to MRC, you scroll all the way to the bottom, you find the Altar product sheet.
Yeah.
They snuck it in there.
Yeah. So we know how many cards are in it,
which is some
new cards.
Yeah, it's 3 new SRs, and then I think a dozen rares, a dozen uncommons, somewhere in that range. Right. About the same as ALC. It's 20, 25 new cards or something.
Right.
And we should also, assumingly, be getting alternate arts for all of the new URs.
Correct.
Or all of the old URs.
Correct.
With new alternate art.
Right.
And according to our glorious leader,
He forgot.
forgot to preview them at SEA Nets.
And then just went radio silent after that.
Yeah, it's saving them for Kuala Lumpur, I guess.
Like, posted on Twitter, said, "Oops, I forgot," and then didn't even tweet one out. Could have just given us one.
Well, I've said a couple of times that it's unclear when we have an ascent how populated the closing ceremony announcements are going to be.
Right.
Because it is tough. I do love that they do a closing ceremony for every ascent, but it gets a little bit difficult. They're a small game, and if you're doing an ascent basically every month, how much news really is there to talk about, right? Like, oh, it's been 30 days. What do we talk about now? Especially when we're in between set releases like this.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't know what they're going to talk about at KL because, DTR is so far out. But I guess they can talk about MRC spoilers, and I guess now they will.
I mean, yeah. At that point, we should just see all of them. Right?
Maybe. I don't know. We saw. It was what? There was an ascent before ALC Alter, right?
Yeah,
like shortly before it.
Toronto, right?
No, Toronto was when we saw HVN
stuff,
product sheet. Yeah. So, anyways, I forget which one it was. But assumingly, we will probably see some spoilers, and at least these art spoilers for MRC Alter at Ascent Kuala Lumpur, which is it's in like 2 weeks, right? I think. Anybody going to KL? I think it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
And at the very latest, U.S. Nationals is factually 1 week before the set comes out, and so probably that following Monday. After Nationals is when we'll get like the index update. So if we haven't seen by then, I assume we'll see some stuff at Nationals. But very, very excited to see what's going on in MRC Alter. It's a bit of an odd duck. I think that in ALC it was very clear, right? Mm-hmm. Like we point to ALC and we're like, oh, there's 4 new CSRs, and at that time. They'd shown us the new Vanitas art because he's like on the box art, right? Mm-hmm. So like, oh, we're getting 4 champions. It's Nico level 1, Polcock level 1, Vanitas, which was like made perfect sense. Right. Or I guess it was 7, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know what about MRC. It's a weird one. We have this new like Diana art, which is super strange. That like set up champion. Why are we getting a new Diana champion 6 weeks before 3 new Diana champions? Like, who paid them? How much did Shinja pay the developers to only support Diana for the next?
I'm hoping
4 months.
I'm hoping for a Shadow Reaver style Diana for Cursebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So Cursebreaker's playable.
Yeah, I mean it
form
certainly has to be, right? Cursebreaker support in some way or another, or at least like maybe an alternative Cursebreaker that is also curse themed, but maybe not terrible. Yeah. But if I think there's 4 new CSRs in MRC Alter, and if we assume that Diana is one of them, what
are the other?
What are the other 3?
The other 3 SRs. Maybe Diana's not an SR.
Oh, she has to be, right?
Does she?
I mean, the last ones weren't they? Like Vanitas and, or I guess
the level 1s are rares.
Yeah, just the Vanitas level 3 was an SR.
Yeah.
I assume she's an SR though. How about this? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The most copium of all time. You ready?
I'm here.
Now listen.
Do you want me to turn up the cope?
Now listen.
Oh my god. This is going to be an Arsana thing.
Of course. This is the last one that I get. All right. This is the last one that I get. Because once MRC's over, Arsana block is gone forever. All right. It's all over until they print her again.
Is it? Arsana block is not over because...
until they print her again.
Yeah.
They're besties out here. Diana's getting a new champion.
Yeah.
And listen. Let's be fucking clear. Yes, of course it's about Ari, but it's not really. If you're going to rank champions full mainline champions from ALC that deserve a second level 3 or a new level 3 or a new champion,
It's
whatever.
not fucking Ari.
It's not Ari and it's not Diana.
It's Tony.
It's fucking Tony. Like, that dude needs help, man. That dude is so down bad.
I don't even think he needs I think he just
needs something, man.
He just needs a new level 2.
Right. He needs a new champion.
He needs a deft executor.
And so bear with me.
Executor.
What if they all get one?
Okay.
And they just put Diana on the box.
Okay.
What if the 3 new SRs are 3 new champions for our humble ALC
But
champs?
what would be the 4th?
CSR? I don't
CSR.
know. I don't know. That one's tough.
But that makes sense.
It
If
could
the
be
3
cool.
SRs are all new
Could be
champions.
cool. And I'd be excited because I get a new Ari. But not that she needs it. But to be fair, just a little bit more, copium.
Yeah.
Arisan is unplayable without the Proxy's Vault card. So, like,
Fair.
if we're talking about support, she would need it if Polaris didn't exist.
Yeah. Maybe she gets a new level 3 that does what Polaris does.
Yeah, maybe they
except for
ban
the
Polaris.
White.
Like, they no meme. I mean, they said, it was like 2 ban lists ago or whatever. Because, like, Polaris, I think, is Cat 1 now.
Yeah.
That they were like, Polaris is on our radar for a stone scale level update because it's too powerful. I understand Polaris is too powerful. And that would be, the perfect thing. Every time I play Polaris, I bemoan that I can't have it foil. And so if you can give me the, the text, or at least, some of the relevant text from Polaris to make Ari playable on a new champion, that'd be great. So could be cool, but that's the copium. But, like, Tony does need the help. Like, that's the real bit for sure.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's ALC, and it's, like, not much. It's, like, mostly Guardian, right? Or not. It was, like, a lot of Assassin, right?
In MRC? Yeah, I'm just saying that, like, a single card goes so far.
Right.
Like,
And the single card, the 2 single cards they've given Tony in the last 5 months didn't help.
But let's think about it, right? Think about it design-wise. You make Polaris, right?
Right.
It's a mistake. Well, not a mistake, but it's obviously
very good.
much too powerful, and probably should have been more tilted towards Ari level 3, and less so what we see it now is just, I'm playing a cleric deck that gets to play a free board wipe. But then they print Reciprocity, which I think comparatively way less powerful.
Yeah.
And I think probably closer in line to what they want that card to look like. I would assume that if Polaris were to get updated, it would be a Reciprocity level card, right? Maybe it costs 1. It's a little bit worse, right? But Reciprocity is not a bad card.
It's fine.
It's good. And you will play it in every Tony deck, right? Like, that's the bar. You're playing Tenoris, you will play Reciprocity probably 90% of the time, unless you're playing, like, an aggro deck or whatever.
Yeah, I guess if you're... But it's, like, very coded to playing domain, so you have to be playing the
No, I
domains.
agree, but I think that's the Tony identity, He's supposed to be a domain deck. Smash with Obelisk, right? Like, he's, even at Neos, he's supposed to be a domain-based deck, right? So maybe they printed Reciprocity at a lower power level on purpose because Tony is getting some meaningful support in MRC Alter. It's like, who else needs it?
Yeah, Tristan surely doesn't.
Like, ALC Alter, we got support for all of the lineage breaks, which did need it, aside from Nico. But, again, an argument that fair is fair, right? Like, Nico didn't need a new champion. She was very powerful at the time.
But you had to be
But she got
balanced.
one just
Right.
the same, right? Because everybody else got one. And so, so maybe we're getting some meaningful Tony support in MRC, and I think he deserves it. And maybe some Ari support, too. Thanks.
You'll get some Ari support. You're getting...
Oh, I'm sure I'll get a card in
You're
MRC.
getting Prima Materia, but with...
Dude, it's gonna have cute art on it, but it just doesn't matter.
It's going to have Ari on it.
I know it's gonna have cute art on it. I mean, it already has Ari on it, but...
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But right, come CSR, so...
Unless
but it will get new art, right?
Unless the new art is getting a CSR.
That would be so cursed. That'd be such a slap in the face.
You said there's 4, right?
There's 4, yeah.
Tony, Ari, Diana.
But, like, dude, I look...
Do any of the other URs have CSRs? Oh, yeah.
Like Atmos Ares does.
Yeah, Ares, yeah.
They could give it to, like, Shadow's Claw. That would be pretty cool.
CSR Shadow's Claw?
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
that'd
sweet.
Be hot. Surely you put a really... Surely Tristan's on that.
Traditionally, they haven't done that, though, right? Made CSR Regalia in regular sets.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was looking at the MRC, like, index the other day. Because I was like, well, surely it's, like, uniques or something, right?
I think they all have one.
There's, like, one. I think it's, like, Bertha
Yeah.
is the only
that doesn't have one.
Yeah, I think it's the only unique that doesn't have a CSR, unless I'm like crazy. Unless we count like the tiny little robot that happens to be unique, but it's a rare, and like surely nobody cares about that.
Which one?
The Harvester MK2
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
It's a unique, but it's a rare. They're not getting a fucking CSR.
Yeah.
I think it's just Bertha. So maybe it's a Bertha CSR and then 3 that matter. I don't know. Bertha, not great. No, that's not the one that we need.
No, but a Scepter of Awakening for domains. Now that's hot.
Cool. Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah. I think Tony needs some support, and hopefully Tony getting support means that Ari gets support. Anyways, it sure would be cool if we could talk about all those art spoilers, and we'll pretend that there's a world where this exists, and we are talking about those art spoilers that we totally saw at SEA Nationals. But we can also talk about SEA Nationals that have now concluded. Congratulations to our top 8 players. Congratulations to the Chad, help me out. Steve, help me out. Top 4 players that got invited to Worlds, which is Bob, legend. If you don't know Bob, you should know Bob. TTA, Fugitive, and Ollie, looks like. A bit of a strange top 8. So let's give it a read. I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm just gonna read out some decks, and then we can talk about how weird and cursed it is. In 8th place is Wind Aster Arisana. Best deck in the format. In 7th place is Water Luxem Goja. This is like a Genbu deck. You know? Not exactly a Luxem deck. I don't think he's playing any Luxem cards. It's just playing level 3 Goja. In 6th place is Water Crux Lorraine. Did I not look at this fucking
This deck is actually super
Water
sick.
Crux Lorraine. This is not exactly the chess club list, but a little bit similar. It's got some weird stuff in it.
It's playing Erendite. It's so sick.
61 card main deck. We'll come back to that one. That's a deck of all time. In 5th place is EMP, playing Wind Luxem Xander. In 4th place is Ollie playing Wind Luxem Xander. In 3rd place is Fugitive playing Fire Luxem Xander. In 2nd place is TTA playing Water Dao Chen, the classic. We know it well. And then in 1st place is the god, the Luxem man himself, Bob, playing Fire Luxem Xander. 4 Luxem Xander decks in this top 8. What is going on in SEA? What are they doing?
All I'm saying is I'm looking at this
Where are
top
these
8.
aggro decks?
I'm looking at this top 8, and I'm just thinking to myself that Fire Diana would have gone galactic in this top 8.
Yeah, like, come on. My SEA players, did you not learn your lesson? Look at these people. They all showed up to this tournament and they said, we'll give Limelight another one this year.
Yeah.
He just didn't show up. The man's having a kid. Like, he could have had a free W, dude. Just show up with Fire Luxem Xander or Fire Diana and
like
kill
he
all
did
these
last
Luxem
year.
Xander
Yeah,
players.
it would have been sick.
What's going on, man? What are you guys doing?
Learn your lessons.
But apparently they got away with murder. And dude, I don't know if you watch any of Bob's games, but yeah, he bobbed some people for sure. he got away with some murder playing this Luxem deck. But yeah, definitely an interesting top 8. I don't think something that I would have expected to see 4 Luxem decks in the top 8. Where like Luxem's a good deck, and I think it is a tier 1 meta deck this format. But there's a lot of like fire aggro decks running around, which is horrific for this deck.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they made it through the tournament, not dodging all these, fire burn decks, the Fire Xander decks.
I think it just
even some of these Wind Allies decks, if they have a good draw, can beat the hell out of Luxem.
I just think historically, SEA has always been about
They do love control, yeah.
the control decks. So like
They
the
love
Luxem decks, the Merlin deck, like
They love it.
they've historically been about those that style of play. So like I see a world where like even when people are playing the decks that are bad into like for them, they have a higher skill level of playing these decks because they all play them.
Right. Yeah, they're very, very talented over there. Like, as a RE player, all the best RE players in the world are over there in SEA for the most part, and the best Luxem players are over there. And I guess that one's hard. There's some very good Luxem players in the US, like Eason and
right.
But yeah, if we look at this top 8, it's like you said, it's mostly control decks. It's like 6 control decks and 2 tempo decks, which is, I guess, yeah, pretty indicative of what SEA usually plays, but definitely a bit of a surprise. Lots and lots of Luxem, which I don't think is indicative of not only like the meta, but like of the tournament. If we look at the breakdown of the tournament, it was way less Luxem than you would think. The champion breakdown for SEA Nats was 19% Lorraine, 16% Ari, 15% Xander, 15% Tristan, 14% Goja, 12% Daochen. And so that does sort of speak to this pretty like aggressive metagame that these Luxem players found success in. Obviously, your number 1 deck being represented is Lorraine. That is almost exclusively Wind Allies players. Yeah. So it's like, except for this, Water Crux.
Dude, this Water deck is so sick.
But that's like 20% Wind Allies in the field. Arisana in second place, not because they're playing Astra, because they're all playing Fractals.
Yeah.
So, 16% plus the Dow Chance, another 12%, like probably, again, 20% of the room playing this Water Fractal deck. Xander, 40 players, 15%, but I would assume that's probably split half and half between Fire Xander and Luxem variants.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably looking at a field that's like, at best for you, like 25% aggro decks, 20% tempo decks, and you're playing the slowest deck in the format, but like 4 players made it there. I think it's really a testament to, like you said, the skill of those players. Obviously the deck is good, but I think the difference between like a good Luxem pilot and a bad one is very, very stark.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, shout out, deck of the weekend, I think, is this cursed Water Crux deck, 61 card special. They're cooking some shit.
There is
there.
one Adier
Yeah.
who hit me up to buy Diane Ways.
Yeah, baby. That card's good. Everybody's sleeping on that card. That card has good text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just mill yourself, and then it's Banner Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a 2/3, right? It's a 3-cost 2/3?
Yeah.
Yeah. That card's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's sleeping on that card, so apparently not... Enki is not sleeping on it. It's a hell of a deck.
Yeah, this deck is so sweet.
And the 61 card special really upsets me, but shout out to you, King.
What do you think the one of?
Speak your truth.
Do you think the one of is the Dispersion Blade?
Yeah,
he's playing the one of
I
Dispersion
hope so,
Blade.
Yeah. He's like,
so
he built this 60 card deck and he's like,
and then he looked at the Dispersion Blade was just sitting and he was just like,
according to producer Son, half of the top 8 is 61 or plus cards. What are you doing? SEA, what are you doing? Do you not?
That's actually
math,
insane.
Bro?
Seattle was the same way.
Math, bro?
Wind Luxem, both the Wind Luxem players, 61 and 62.
Why are we doing this?
Wind and the Arisana deck, 61
what
cards.
What are we doing? What are you guys doing? That's not how math works.
Hold on.
It's like 2% or something. That's a real number. I
Every single one of the ones that are 61 cards are playing a spicy one of.
You guys are so cursed.
Like the Wind Luxem is playing Verdurous Decree.
Yeah.
The Ari is playing one of Lunaseer.
I looked at that Ari.
Surely you just cut it, right?
It's like 2%, bro. Somebody get me the math. One of you smart math people. Where's my editor? She's at the Pro Tour in London. She can't tell me. It is like a real number that it dilutes your deck for sure. But people are like, the math is basically the same. It's only one extra card, but I think it's like 2% or something. It's real. It's crazy. But yeah, of course, congratulations to all those players. So I believe the word is the top 4 are invited. So those names that we read out a moment ago are all invited directly to the World Championship. Congratulations. We will see you in Anaheim. And then the following 8 players, I believe it goes down to 12 for SEA, are invited to the Gauntlet. So that's our first 8 players of our 32-player event invited to the Gauntlet. Of course, I want to congratulate Aqua, who snuck in, got 12th place to get invited to the Gauntlet playing Wind Arisana. 2 Ari players playing in the Gauntlet. I don't know Sheng personally, who made top 8. I don't know if he's a devout Ari player like Aqua is, but 2 Ari players in the top and into the Gauntlet is sick. We love that.
Yeah.
And those Luxem players, whatever, Luxem players should be put to the sword, but that's a
No,
that's a personal issue.
No. We just need our king and savior to come play, so every Luxem player feels the pain.
Yeah, we need Dad Light to come and strike fear into these Luxem players. Even Bob can't stop Fire Dana Limelight. Double dungeon guide, 5% are you? That's my king for sure. But yeah, definitely an interesting event. I'm curious how this will influence the rest of the season. Like, I don't think it's going to influence anything on the local level. Most people that are playing Grand Archive play what they play, and they're not going to like look at this to dictate what they're playing at regionals. But it might have some real waves that fall onto European Nationals and Ascent Kuala Lumpur, which are the same weekend, which is really crazy. Yeah. So it's going to be a really big weekend for Grand Archive. I believe that's the last weekend of April, so it's like 2 weeks from now. Where, a lot of these same players, right, like these SEA players are going to be at KL. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see this really great showing from Luxem have some like reverberations on that meta. And maybe that does mean that we'll see, some Diana resurgence if there's expected to be a lot of Luxem players in the SEA region.
Yeah,
I'm really curious how that's going to work out, and we won't see until we're much closer. But so many players in SEA, so many are like insanely talented, and a lot of them are sitting at that like ascendant top 100 level. I if I had to bet, I haven't looked at the stats, so maybe this is me just being biased, but I would assume that SEA has
the most ascendant,
either the most or the right behind the US, right? As far as regions go for ascendant players. So I'm really curious how many of those players will actually just go to Europe instead.
Yeah.
Like obviously I understand that KL is like fairly local, right? It's still in SEA, and Europe is a much farther trip, but the upside's huge to go to European Nationals and sneak one of those invites, but it's a pretty low amount, right? Is it only top two?
Top two?
Top two for Europe get the full invite to Worlds, and I believe it's top 8. Or the next six get Gauntlet invites. So I'm really curious what the sort of like estimated value is on that sort of proposition.
Right.
If you're a player that's in SEA and could feasibly go to both, is it higher upside for me to go to this Ascent and maybe top 8, get a Spirit, whatever, or should I try to spike those top 2 slots in Europe? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's an interesting breakdown. So I'm curious what things will look like.
Yeah, and because of this event, or not because of this event, because it was scheduled before the event, but we do have a little bit more news because after this event, we had a ban list posted.
True, man, I forgot about that.
And we had one addition to Tier 1 in Crystalline Mirror.
Yeah.
And that was the essentially the developers putting it on the watch list because it's not exactly where they want Water's identity to be. Just like the free Papa Regalia. So I'm interested to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, it's I always am intrigued by the way that they handle these ban list updates, where I would say like 9 out of 10 times it's not necessarily a power level issue, which I find really interesting. Like a couple of times they've made bans for power level issues, or like the 3 visits errata, or the erupting ban or whatever, right? These cards that they're like legitimately worried about power level, but a lot of them are like, we don't like this design space anymore. Like the Toy Story meme, I don't want to play with you anymore, dropping my crystalline mirror. Where they're not like, oh, crystalline mirror is too powerful. Like nowhere in that text do they say that we think this is a problematic power level design for a card. They're just like, we don't think this fits Water's identity, and so we want to keep an eye on it and get rid of it if it seems too prevalent, which I think is definitely interesting.
Well, if you look back, right, like Crystalline Mirror has allowed decks like the Polar Fractal Mill Burn deck
right
from last season it empowers this fractal deck this season.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that it
So,
isn't
like-
a powerful card. It
So like
certainly
I
is.
could see them like not want like them wanting to continue to print these powerhouse cards like Burst Asunder,
Right.
like Stratagem into water, but then remove water's ability to answer the counter for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I understand the upside of having this regalia, right? And that really is the upside. That like particularly a lot of these decks are weak into like Safeguard Amulet.
Right.
Right. And so it gives you a main deck way to deal with your opponent's Safeguard Amulets. However, it is like usually a less effective response than something like a Fracturize, right? Because you have to materialize your own Crystalline Mirror. You pop their Safeguard Amulet, but it does mean that they still get to activate their Safeguard for that turn. So you're still like time walking yourself, right? So like usually it's going to be better to Fracturize it anyways. I understand there's upside to having this card available always because it's in your material deck. But yeah, I find it really interesting that it's not necessarily because it's such a powerful card, but it's because that's something they want to move away from in water.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that means like Regalia Destruction in general is like too powerful for water and that's what they mean, or if they just mean this card specifically, which is what was unclear.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if they're like Crystalline Mirror is not the identity we want to have for water, which means like does that mean Fracturize is on the watch list, you know, for a very similar reason? I think the game would be infinitely better if we banned Fracturize. So like that would be great. I think
Says the Arisana player.
says the judge, bro. Like if I didn't have to ever deal with a fucking Fracturize again, I would be on cloud 9, dude.
Oh yeah, because then you wouldn't have any. It's less gun
Yeah,
questions.
it's less gun questions, less does this card keep its text? If I had a nickel for every person that's asked me if Censor of Restful Peace keeps its text after it gets Fracturized just because they've been, mentally boomed by Nullifying Lantern existing, it's like, no, that's not how that works. But yeah, I'm really curious if it's on a game design level that they don't want Regalia Destruction to be in water. But like there was a long time where people had no outs to Nullifying Lantern in water before the advent of these like Fantasia decks. There was a long time where these water decks literally just could not deal with a Nullifying Lantern because their only removal was Fracturize.
Right, and that doesn't do it.
Right, and that doesn't do it. We know that. And that wasn't a good place to be in either, right? That like Nullifying Mirror against these water decks is just like literally unanswerable.
Yeah.
If they ban Crystalline Mirror, what happens? We just go back to that? You have to play
Horse.
Swooping Talons or Unbroken Mustang in your water deck? Like feels so bad, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think it was definitely a weird one. Like if you were to put a gun to my head, please, I would not have put Crystalline Mirror anywhere near my thoughts for being Cat 1 on the ban list. It was really, really surprising to me, honestly.
Which is another thing where like I'm thinking like if they're hating on Crystalline Mirror,
Yeah.
usually it's the next set that they're thinking of.
Maybe, yeah.
Or the next two sets,
Right.
We got the Erupting Ban before we got A and B,
Right.
and then A and B came out and there was nothing in it.
Right.
That was like relevant.
And then HVN made sense.
And then we got HVN and everything is a melody.
Right.
And then we have Sly Songstress, which would be giga broken if you had Erupting around still. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like play this creative shot card. I turn on my
Right.
my Erupting. It's insane.
Yeah, it's interesting if that means maybe we're getting some more, not even necessarily water support, but water support that plays into one of water's inherent weaknesses, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like more sort of cards that get eaten up by a Null Lantern or a Safeguard Amulet or whatever. Where, like, I think water more than anybody has trouble with Regalia right now. Not that that's keeping water from being competitive, but, like, if you're playing a water deck, you are probably the element that cares the most about your opponent's Regalia.
Right.
Null Lantern, Safeguard, Censor are all typically good into water decks.
Right.
Where that's not usually the case into everything else. So
Right.
yeah. So I wonder. I don't think that it's a bad candidate to get removed, but like to me, I put it right up there with like Chalice, where it's like I don't know that either of those cards are going to be as super problematic. I can understand that. I think right now, I know, some blasphemy, but like Cleric's too strong, and it has been for a while. I think that's mostly on the back of Polaris. So I think if they deal with the Polaris issue, like Crystalline Mirror becomes less of a problem, if that makes sense. Where like we've seen the meta evolve, and we see it, time and time again here in SCA Nationals, where the Arisana representation is super high, but it's like very dwarfed, right? Where most of these Arisana decks are not Aster decks. They're exactly the Dao-Chan deck, and most of them playing Dao-Chan in their sideboard, just because this Dao-Chan Fractal deck was created in Seattle and quite strong. And it's still quite strong. We saw it get second place at SCA. But it has a weakness, and its weakness is Allies decks. And everybody pivoted to Wind Allies. Wind Allies, beats this Water Fractal deck into the ground. But the power level of a card like Polaris means that these people just get to pivot to Ari, and I'm not saying that makes their Wind Allies matchup good, but it gives them an out to Allies because they get a free board wipe in their material deck.
Right.
And I think that sort of thing is keeping the meta from evolving, because there should be this sort of like rock, paper, scissors evolution, right? Where like this Fractal deck is good, a lot of people play it, people realize that is the case, they play the counter to that deck, and then there should be a third level, right? Which is people start playing the counter to the counter, right? Wind Allies becomes popular, people start playing the deck that beats Wind Allies, that deck is maybe weakened to the Fractal deck, right? And you go on these levels over and over and over again. But the problem with Polaris being so strong is we go from deck A being good, deck B is good into deck A. Deck A just evolves and plays Arisana instead, and that's not like super healthy, I think. So yeah, I'm curious how they'll move forward, and I wonder if like MRC Alter or even DTR being an Astra set will have any influence on how they want to deal with Polaris in the future, because I do think it should be toned down a bit.
Maybe even one step further and
banned.
No. Change it completely from Norm into Astra, and that's the only change you make to it.
I would do it. Don't want to spend this whole time talking about poor Arisana, but yeah, definitely interesting. I was not on my bingo card to see Crystalline Mirror get looked at.
Yeah,
it's better than not, though. I think they've proven with Creative Shock, Dream Fairy are both off the list now, right? That it's okay to have something be looked at and maybe not banned, or maybe they decide that it is worth that. But I think it's always better for them to, like, I would be thrilled if there was like 30 cards to Cat 1. It's just like, this is stuff we're looking at, and these cards are like maybe problematic, and maybe we'll remove them. We just want to let you know that we understand these cards are very strong. Yeah. And maybe we'll deal with them.
It's
maybe
like Lost
we
in
won't.
Thought, right? Like,
yeah, that one should be banned. I think that card's actually absurd, but like right now it's not. So it's all about that evolution.
I wish I could just like record conversations and then replay them later. Yeah. Because I remember a time.
I'll die on this hill. I think Lost in Thought for Zero is terrible, and that is always what I've said.
I just remember there was a time where when Lost in Thought first came out, Cam was like, that card's shit.
I want this to be very clear, and you can find them. I guarantee we said it on the podcast. I do not think Lost in Thought is shit. I think Lost in Thought for Zero is shit. I think you have to be playing that card for like 2 or 3 for it to be plus. And when you do, it's insane. But I think playing Lost in Thought for Zero is bad. So if you're not going to play it for 3, and you're just like, I have 8 float in my deck, and 4 of them are Lost in Thought, then it is a bad card. But if you're playing 30 float in your deck, that card's absurd. But on that same merit, right? Not so much right now.
No, not
Censor's
so
a fucked up card.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Censor exists means Lost in Thought is way worse.
Yeah.
And that's sort of that evolution that we've got. I talked with somebody about this yesterday, where like everybody before HVN came out even was terrified of these like water tempo decks. It's like Sylvie Nico deck, and before that the Fractal Polar Depths decks, and it's like, oh my god, this mill deck is so oppressive, and this graveyard deck is so good, and Censor's not going to do anything. You can just fracturize it. And all those decks are bad. Like, the only one that is seeing any sort of play is this Gembu deck, because it gets to still play the game if you resolve a Censor and you don't have an answer for it. So like, things always change. And maybe there's some absurd hate card that comes out that makes Crystalline Mirror bad. Who knows? Definitely interesting. So just keep an eye on things, I guess, is what I'm saying. I assume we have another ban list announcement post Nationals, maybe MRC launch day, something like that.
I think there was like 3 that we were talked about that we're supposed to be getting over the course of the season.
Yeah, I didn't look at the article, but or today I didn't look at it to double check, but I assume we'll get some more. I assume this will be or I guess we probably will get one after KL, right?
Right.
So just a couple of weeks from now. Maybe every deck in KL is playing Crystalline Mirror, and then they ban it. Who knows?
I don't think they would ban it, right? They'd just move it up to 2.
Yeah.
We've only seen them full out ban cards once.
Only that one time.
And it was worth it, right?
Who knows? I just mean it leaves removes confidence from the consumer. Where it's like, oh, are my cards safe for 2 ban lists? Well, not necessarily, because precedent says that whenever they want, they'll ban a card, which is fine. I agree, it was worth it, but just something to keep an eye on.
I think that's another reason why we saw a decrease in like the Sylvie Nico deck and stuff.
Right,
is because you can't kill people on turn 2 anymore.
Yeah,
you can't Icebound Slam them to death.
Yeah, that card is pretty good.
Yeah,
I'd say that has some part in it for sure. All right, well, that's all we have for you this week. Next week is a week.
We'll talk about our regionals.
There's basically nothing. So please, if you have any topics that you want us to discuss on the show, I promise I won't address them at the end of the show like I did the last time because I can't read. Send them to us here on the YouTubes or on the Twitters or on the Discords. We're all on those places. If you have anything that you want us to talk about on the show, let us know in this slow pre-MRC, pre-Nationals time. If you want to catch the show, we do it every week, Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, asterisk, like today. It's a little bit late, but suck me. You can find the previous week's episode up on Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lineage Break.
You
can look for those.
I will do my best to check the words next time.
Spelling's hard. We thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.
Have a good one, guys.
Woo. I didn't read any chat. I just look at Steve so that I don't get distracted by chat, and then I see Steve looking at chat, and I'm like, no, I have to look at chat. I don't. So what are you guys doing? How are you, chat? Do we think Crystalline Mirror is broken? Yeah. True. Yeah. Fracturize is stupid. Yeah, I agree. They should ban Fracturize. I think they should ban Fracturize, so they should ban guns. They should ban Diana. This is actually a perfect time. Ban Diana, both lineages, completely. Thoughts? Anybody? Yeah, design constraint for sure. Or there's an argument that it is not a constraint, and it keeps things constrained, which allows you to print more broken regalia if you can blow it up.
True.
With your Crystalline Mirror. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I just work here, man.
I'm a big fan of Crystalline Mirror.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I'm a big fan of Crystalline Mirror for the Glimpse one.
Yeah. It's a very strange card, for sure. It feels sort of like Alcahest to me. Obviously, like, way less playable.
Yeah.
But, like, a card that has an intended design that nobody uses it for its intended design, It's like, oh, you're supposed to glimpse one every time you play a Fantasia. And everybody is like, I'll materialize this. I'll blow it up. I'll blow up your safeguard. Now it feels a little bit bad, but...
Hey, to be fair, I materialized Crystalline Mirror pretty early.
What, Chad? Glimpse one value.
Because if it's on the board, you're always ready to be primed. To kill them.
I'm ready to be primed. Prime me.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
In this fractal deck, I always want to be able to kill them when I can. And having Crystalline Mirror in play allows me to do that.
Anyways. Where are our art spoilers, bro?
I don't know.
I'm actually tilted. Just talking about it. I'm tilted. Where are my developers? Theo? Get it done, man. Tell Syl to post them on the internet. probably just the UR spoilers though. So like, who cares, right? Freitas already has a CSR though, right?
Yeah.
She was a supporter pack.
Supporter pack, yeah.
There's like literally no cards in MRC. It's crazy. Yeah, maybe Devin. Depends when you come up. It's a lot easier if you're here earlier because we live here. You can in fact come to the studio. But at Boston itself,
Unlikely.
I assume to be busy. Oh, Freitas gonna be huge in the new meta. She's broken. That's true. That'd be so sick. If Freitas was playable, that'd be so sick. That'd be so cool.
Yep.
Listen, all I'm saying, there's a lot of really bad cards that are held back by the absence of Proliferate. And if we got Proliferate, there would be so many bad cards that would be cool. Think about it. It would be sick. Is there anything that breaks? I don't even think so. I think it's fine. Give me some fucking Proliferate, bro. It'd be so cool.
I can think of a few cards that breaks.
I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't think of a single card in this game that
Yeah.
gets better when you can add more counters to it.
It doesn't matter. You get one counter on your Polaris, it's for 5 instead of 4. Like, who cares? It needs to be more impactful than that.
Merlin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but same thing. Like, it's one counter, you know?
One counter a turn means you draw a card.
Well, yeah, right. I don't think it's going to be one counter a turn. That would be fucked.
Well, that's what, you proliferating does.
Sure, but if it's on a permanent, if you play fucking whatever, the spell that proliferates one, it's like the same thing as that card they just printed for Merlin.
True.
You know?
Just keep printing cards that allow Merlin to manipulate her level counters, so she just draws
whatever. They
every
should
turn.
ban that card. She's gonna be banned at proliferate damage counters, but like that's kind of cool, right? That's kind of cool. I think that's sick. I think it would be cool.
Dude, I don't know.
Damage counters, fucking durability counters. It would be so cool. There's so many counters in this thing.
You just kill people.
+1 damage, Steven. I don't know what kind of cards you're trying to design.
Dude, there's so many times, Cam, where like me or my opponent is at 1 life.
Well, sick, dude. You killed them.
Yeah.
You played a card with Proliferate. That's where we're drawing the line. That's like saying Mark the Target is broken because you can play it and deal 1 damage.
I think Proliferate is too powerful of an ability for Grand Archive.
No, I think it's sick. I think it's sick.
Polaris player.
I think it's sick. I don't even care, bro. I want this to be very clear. I would prefer if Polaris was banned.
Yeah?
Yes. I would prefer if Polaris was banned and Ari was playable without it. I don't want my hero to be unplayable, obviously.
Correct.
But if they ban Polaris and there is a card that is not near ubiquitous like that card is, I would prefer that. I don't want everyone to keep putting me in a box. All right? I want to proliferate my Freitas counters. I don't give a shit about any cleric shit. There's no other cleric cards that have counters. I'm going to put a counter on my Lunar Conduit. It's going to go crazy.
That actually
does it? I think we're overrating what 1 means. But it's like anything else. If you make it broken,
but you're not just playing 1, right? It's not like a once per game you're proliferating.
I'm just saying
over the course of the game, if you proliferate 5 times, it's still very good.
I'm just saying we're talking about nothing.
We're having a conversation.
Any card that you make broken is broken. Like if in your brain it's broken, it's broken, and if your brain it's not broken, it's not broken. Right? If you print a card that costs 4 and puts 2 durability counters on a card, it's terrible and unplayable. But if that card costs 0, it's broken, right? So it's like, I'm just saying, Freitas is neat. And I think Freitas would be cool if we could support her. And there's probably no other way to do that than to put more counters on her. How about it says it's not proliferate because Magic's Gathering is a bad card. And it adds extra... What are they even called? I don't know. I don't know what Freitas' counters are called. Freitas counters. Wither counters? That would be pretty broken. That's kind of sick.
Hey.
Proliferate and Wither would be sick.
There you go.
That would be good. But then she'd be playable. I'd love that. That would be Pog. Yeah, just Proliferate Wither counters.
I honestly... it might
Tactic, thank you. Tactic counters.
It might be Copium.
Mm.
But I think that if the meta is aggro,
Mm.
Terra Dao not looking so bad. Because they go down on influence to play their dudes. You
Yeah.
level up to 3. Everything gets a thing.
Yeah.
Then you just play the other card that says everything gets 1.
Or you can play Polaris.
Sure. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box.
I know.
For your sake.
I know it. I know it. I would love her to do it. I like the Arisanas on the table. Yeah, they're here for you, Aqua. Congratulations. And this goat.
She's cute.
She's slightly card game related.
And we got this beautiful acrylic standee of a Kongming.
What about my face? You making fun of my face? Yeah, I have to get back to cooking poor Dao Chen. Just haven't touched her in weeks.
I don't know. I think
Feels so sad.
there was 2 times at our regionals where someone went into level 3 Dao Chan, and I lost the game because of it.
That's sick. I love that.
Because I could
sometimes
not
cool.
deal with the quest counters.
The weather counters, yeah.
Yeah, the wither counters.
Yeah.
In the accurate way.
Yeah.
And if you can go to level 3 and still, what is that? Caress?
Yeah.
Is that the-
Frostlorn Caress.
Frostlorn Caress is the one that puts wither counters on everything?
No. Yes, but no. Frost Nip Pirouette is the one that puts 1 on everything.
Okay. So you play, if you can go to level 2 or level 3
Yeah.
and cast a Pirouette in the same turn,
It's a lot. It's 2 on everything. It's a lot.
that's,
Gigalots.
really tough for most
Yeah,
decks to
you
deal with.
might be right that it's good in allies. It's bad in the fire though, but it's good in the wind allies because they don't really have a way to kill you other than dudes. So they put a bunch of dudes on the board and then they're sad.
Yeah.
But like the fire decks probably should kill you before it matters. But the wind allies decks kind of cooks. Get back to the old resolute stand meta. I'm kind of here for allies being good. Feels like it's been a dog's age since allies were at all playable. It's all these fucking water tempo decks that have been running the game. Like it feels like it's been like water tempo, slime, Sylvie. Like that's all I can remember in recent memory. When was the last time the dudes were good? It's been a minute.
ALC.
Yeah, but dudes are good now. It's Pog. I think this is the healthiest format we've literally ever had. Kind of goes crazy. Congratulations, Grand Archive. You did it. Nice, healthy, open format. Don't ruin it. All right? No busted Diana cards and MRC or whatever. Don't
Were they,
ruin it.
Rex?
Yeah, no, robots were okay. That's fair. Xander still putting up numbers.
I can't wait to play CL Allies.
Maybe.
I can't
Well, spooky monsters.
even believe that they wouldn't be.
Spooky monsters. Yeah, it has to be some sort of ally deck, right?
Yeah.
He's a guardian. He's a guardian.
He's Guardian.
We're in the same point with these ALC champs though. Minus cleric, where I don't understand. I guess Ranger has a pretty clear identity too. I don't understand Guardian's identity. You know, like what's it supposed to be?
I don't know, but 30
It's like
health.
big swords and big life pool.
Yeah.
But like, how does that work with your graveyard? But if you look at like Ari or whatever, she just does her own fucking thing. So who knows?
Right.
Could be like herbs. Like who knows? Just an entirely insular mechanic. Where he
I
has
hope
his own CL thing going on.
I hope I get
Yeah. I agree. I think there's some clashing designs, but like they'll just make him an insular character, I guess, right? Where like he just does his own thing and none of his cards work for anybody else. It's like Kongming, in theory, if that other bitch didn't exist. Yeah, board building. I guess if we lean into the like Tony is good at building like automaton tokens and a wide board. Like if we take that as a Guardian identity, I think that fits a lot easier for CL. Because I think of it in a like a Shadowverse way or I
I hope he
like a lingering souls
I
kind of
hope
way,
he
you
makes
know.
skeletons out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the graveyard.
Yeah, he like makes a bunch of 1/1 skeletons, like sort of like Tony makes robots. He makes a bunch of fucking 1/1 skeletons.
Yeah.
Like I think that makes sense. Yeah, and his attack scale with your skeletons or your allies in graveyard or
Allies in
whatever.
graveyard makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
give him a sword,
yeah.
an attack that says, "Give him a scythe, please." Oh, I would lose my goddamn mind.
We are absent of scythes, right?
Yeah,
There are literally none.
correct.
So
And it's a two-handed weapon, and
Hey.
Guardian about big attack.
Oh,
Please.
no. Sorry,
Please.
Steven. We've literally seen his weapon.
Yeah, I know.
In his hands.
It's a big clock sword.
It's a big clock sword.
But that's his level 1. He might get 2. Level 3 might go crazy.
Oh, I'm sure level 3 will go crazy, but I assume he keeps his clock sword, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, I really like puppets in Shadowverse. I think that's a really cool design. So,
Don't give him a
Hopefully do
scythe, Rex. I don't know if.
well, it's because he wants to buy it. He's gonna have to buy the jumbo CL lineage now, you know, since
Come
the
on,
jumbo
Rex.
lineage
Come on,
is
Rex.
finished.
Let me be edgy. I know we've already seen his weapon, but
It's still pretty edgy.
he has a big clock sword.
Big clock sword. Perfect.
It can't be a carrot. It can't be a
Giant
carrot.
bunny. He's in a bunny suit and he's got a carrot scythe.
I don't know.
There
Have you
go.
guys watched Devil May Cry yet?
No.
You should, because it was sick and there's a giant bunny in it.
It's on my.
It got me very
It's on my
hyped. It
list.
actually got me super hyped for CL to come out
What you gotta do now?
because all I could think of was him becoming a big bunny
Yeah,
monster.
I love that.
And if it does,
Get up and get down.
Rex, I also love scythes. It's like my favorite, like, video game weapon. It's like Chrono Trigger. So why,
Yeah, I
it's why I always got Magus.
I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers. But I heard that Lady's not in it. That's so. Oh no, the character assassinated her. She is in it.
Yes.
I heard there was no actual DMC characters in it, which is criminal. So I don't. I haven't watched it.
Lady
yet,
is in it. I've never
That's so cringe.
preference.
Yeah.
I have never played a Devil May Cry game.
Oh, that's so tough.
They're all on sale on Steam.
That's so tough.
I bought 1 through 5.
Dude, they're so peak.
I spent $20. I bought 1 through 5.
And by peak, I mean you should play 2 of them.
It's not DMC Devil May Cry.
Oh no. We don't talk about that one. That one doesn't count.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 1 through 5.
Yeah. You should
And
play
I was gonna-
some of them,
I was gonna play the order in which Tex told me.
which is
3, 1, 2, 4, 5.
all right. So
I believe.
bear
That's
with
what
me.
he said.
Bear with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Canon order
Is
is
the one he said.
not that.
Hold on.
Canon order is 3, 1, 4, 5, 2.
He
but,
said 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. Is the
A,
chronological.
you shouldn't play 2. That game is just
I want to
No,
play
no,
2
no.
now because
No,
you've
you
all
don't. It
told me
is
it was bad.
quite literally the worst video game
I
I've
played
actually ever
Recoded.
played. You don't understand. Like, you cannot understand how bad this video game
I
is.
played Chain of Memories
I-
on my Game Boy.
If you can play that game for more than an hour, I am stunned. It is so awful. But anyways, unfortunately, if you play them in that order, I think you'll have a bad time. Because 1 is a great game, but doesn't hold up very well. 2 is a terrible game. And I probably just wouldn't play them.
So, but can I start at 3 and know what's going
3
on?
3 is a prequel, yeah. So you should start at 3. But 3 is also the best one in the series, I think.
So, but like,
Well, 5's really
do
good.
I need to know what happens in 1 and 2 to play 4 and 5?
No, not really. No, it doesn't really matter. 2 is the last game in the series, so you actually don't have to play it. So that's fine.
Wait, how does that work?
Canonically, like Devil May Cry 2 is the last game in the series.
That's confusing to me.
Yeah, it's a terrible game. 1, maybe you should play. I think you can get away with playing 1. It doesn't hold up super
So should
well,
I
but-
play 1, 3, 4, 5?
No, I play 3, 1, 4, 5.
3, 1, 4,
Because 3
5.
is a prequel.
Okay.
So you should play 3 first.
Okay.
But 3 fucks Unreal. So like you'll play 3 and it fucks Unreal, and then you'll play 1 and you'll be sad because 3 fucks Unreal and 1 is way not the same game.
Is it kind of like how I played Dark Souls Remastered and then tried to play Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 2 felt like shit compared to Dark Souls
Think
Remastered?
about like playing Kingdom Hearts 2,
Yeah.
right? And then playing Kingdom Hearts 1. Like gameplay wise, like think about that.
I don't want to.
Yeah, right. So like you probably just shouldn't play 1.
So
or
every
2,
time
is
I
all I'm saying.
replay Kingdom Hearts, I always start with 1.
Right. So
Because
what
I know-
I'm saying
I know what's coming next.
is the story in Devil May Cry 1 isn't that important. So you can just play 3, then play 4, then play 5, and then you're playing them not only all bangers, but in release order, so they won't feel worse. They'll feel better, you know? Like DMC3 is a better game than DMC4, but DMC4 is a more updated game, so you won't feel as bad going forward.
Right. Because, like,
That's what I'm saying.
I never played Dark Souls originally,
Right.
the first one.
Yeah.
And then it got remastered.
Yeah.
And then I played that.
Yeah.
And then I went back to 2, and it wasn't as polished as the remaster of 1.
So, if you, let's say that you play, this is a great conversation. Do I have to open the store yet? No.
No, we have 9
I got
minutes.
5 minutes. I love Devil May Cry so much. So let's say that you play the games and you play like 3 first, right? If you play 3 first, 3 is like playing Elden Ring.
Okay.
No, that's not true. 5 is like playing Elden Ring. 3 is like playing Dark Souls Remastered. That's great. It's a great nod.
Okay.
Playing Devil May Cry 1 is like playing
Demon Souls?
Demon Souls on the PS3.
Sick.
Which is a banger game, but does not hold up and would be hard to go back to. And then 2 is like playing Kingsfield on the N64.
Yeah.
You know?
Understood.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5. That's you're good on that.
But as a not person, going back to the original conversation,
Right.
as a person who has never played Devil May Cry, I really enjoyed the entire anime.
I hope I enjoy it. I just haven't watched it.
There was some stuff where I was like, okay, whatever, but I really enjoyed it, especially the flashback episode. I thought that was sick.
DMC's great. You should totally play it. They fuck Unreal. I think that that Devil May Cry 5 is maybe one of the greatest video games of all
I don't
time.
know if it's still on sale, but because of the anime, it was all on sale for 70% off, and you could buy there was a pack for 20. It was like $19.99, and it came with 1 through 5. It was like the HD collection 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5.
And 4 and 5. I think like no meme, like Aliens the film. I think Devil May Cry 5 is the best sequel that has ever existed in video game form, in my personal opinion.
Interesting.
I think it's the best sequel ever. It is so good. Absolute peak all the way through. So yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait till you get there.
Yeah. I if you want, I'll even stream it in
That sounds great.
in VC.
I love those games so much. It is a hack and slash game. A stylish hack and slash game, yes. Which is good. Pog. You get rewarded for not being lazy, which is sick.
What does that mean?
Well, so if you play like a thing like Dynasty Warriors, right?
Right. Is it Dynasty? I don't
No,
want to play Dynasty.
Not at all. But think of Dynasty Warriors, right?
Yeah.
Where you just like mash the same button over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
The way the DMC works is you have it's a hack and slash game, so you attack and you punch things. It's an action game.
So like God of War. Or...
Yeah. God of War is a great example. So if you play like God of War, not the new ones, like the old ones,
Right.
and you just like mash the same button over and over again, it's effective and you will kill people.
Correct.
But in Devil May Cry, that is also true. But there is a style gauge, which depends how stylish your combos are.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. And so you get rewarded more for the more stylish that your combos are, so you're incentivized to like switch up your movesets and do cool stuff.
Yeah.
And when you do cool stuff, you get more rewards because you're stylish. And it's
Now,
sick.
spoiler alert
Sick.
for people who don't know Devil May Cry, like me.
Yeah.
Is a demon trigger a real thing in the games?
It is called your devil trigger. But
Your
yes,
devil trigger.
It is a real thing. Yes,
Okay.
yes. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Because he
I
does
understand.
indeed do stuff like that in the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's cool. Do I get to do that in the game?
You sure do. He is the son of Sparta, half demon, half man. does have a devil trigger and turns into a demon. Yeah,
Sweet.
that is real. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's a sick game. We can't wait. Yeah, bang, bang, bang. Devil Trigger, the song that is in the anime, because I heard it's on the soundtrack, which is Pog, is the theme song for one of the characters in Devil May Cry 5.
Interesting. Is this Nero?
Yeah. We won't go into any of that, spoilers or whatever, but
Correct.
Not that the story of Devil May Cry is the important part. It surely isn't, but spoilers, I guess. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching our Devil May Cry podcast. I'm a big fan.
Next week we're gonna talk about the entire series.
Steve will have finished it, and we'll talk about it then.
Yep.
But I have to go open the store or something. You guys got me on a real big tangent. Yeah, just play 3, 4, 5 in that order is great.
Yep.
Fuck 1. You can watch a YouTube video about DMC 1. DMC 2 doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. Actual trash.
All right. Well,
but 3 is peak.
Richie, I
4 and
will
5 are
also
great.
be playing 3, 4, 5. I will be streaming it also for people
Can't
if
wait.
they want.
It's great. so peak. The greatest video games of all time. All right. Hey, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
We'll see you next week. We'll see some of you in New Jersey tomorrow. Bye. All right, bye.